In this video, we will examine how exploring the standards of evidence can be used to promote critical thinking skills for students. Critical thinking is a complex mix of skills. However, at the heart of it is an ability to engage in evidence-based thinking, in which one collects, analyzes, and evaluates evidence. However, our idea on what constitutes good evidence has evolved over time in response to a need for more reliable, unbiased evidence, and to reduce our risk in succumbing to logical fallacies and manipulation by others. To see how standards of evidence has changed over time, let's look at Aristotle's argument on slavery. Aristotle recognized that in his society, slavery was a social norm. He argued that social norms reflected what was natural. He equated natural with justice, and so he concluded slavery was just. Further, Aristotle claimed that slaves lacked the ability to engage in rational thinking due to them having an underdeveloped soul. Such a deficient soul, he claimed, made slaves closer to that of beasts of burdens rather than to humans. And since beasts of burdens had identifiable physical traits that made them suitable to their jobs, so too could slaves be identified because they are physically different from rulers. Aristotle's argument, while considered sound by most in the past, would not be considered sound today. His arguments make unsubstantiated presuppositions, like the existence and nature of people and animal souls. He falsely equates natural with just, and finally, he has several unjustified claims. For example, slaves are physically different from rulers. To illustrate how we can use the evolution of evidence standards in the classroom, we will look at a sample lesson from the grade 11 Botany unit. In this lesson, students use microscopes to gather data. In previous classes, when they used microscopes, they recorded their data as illustrations. The introduction of the lesson included a 5-minute discussion on the use of drawings as evidence. We explored how changing standards have resulted in drawings being replaced by photography. We looked at why this change has occurred by looking at past examples of how inaccurate drawings were used as evidence in issues around race. And finally, we examined the impact that these drawings had on our scientific and societal understanding of racial groups. Finally, after this very short conversation, students conducted their microscope inquiry on monocots and dicots, and they recorded their evidence in photographic form, not drawings. A student exemplar of this inquiry is in the video description below. If you are a science teacher and the sample activity interests you, feel free to download it. If you are an educator, please consider subscribing to this channel. I will do my best to make videos on educational topics at a reasonable pace. These videos help me to consolidate and reflect on my practice. I hope other educators find them useful. If you're a classroom teacher, I wish you luck on your journey. We are all in this together.